In previous sessions, I have taken up various aspects of genetic code and codon-anticodon interaction. Now in this session, I'll be starting various aspects of translation. The translation is nothing but a protein synthesis. At the end of the session, the learner shall be able to know requirement of various components for the translation process and how amino acids are activated and attached to the transfer RNA. Protein synthesis, when you see protein synthesis in eukaryotes and prokaryotes, the way the protein synthesis takes place, it may be a lot of similarities, okay, like initiation, elongation and termination. But comparison to the prokaryotic system, eukaryotic system, it is a much more complex. We'll study both in prokaryotic system and eukaryotic system. And first we'll take up the prokaryotes and later eukaryotes. So that will be easy for us to understand. So various stages of protein synthesis is there in various steps. One is, as I said, requirement of components, various components. It is a process which requires many components. And the second one is activation of amino acids and attachment to the transfer RNA. And the third one is, so the actual protein synthesis proper. So that is, as I said, so various steps of protein synthesis like initiation, elongation and termination. Then after that we'll study post-translational modifications. There are, once the nascent protein is synthesized, that protein is not in a state to able to perform. It has to be, some changes are to be incorporated. So that comes under post-translational modifications. Okay. Then also, so brief, we'll talk about the protein folding aspects of the protein, that also we will take up at the later stage. Okay. So this is at the various stages we'll study protein synthesis. The next aspect is, we'll go through one by one. The first one is requirement of components, various components. Okay, so what are these requirements? The first one is amino acids. Amino acids, they are required. Second one is ribosomes which are required. Then third one is the messenger RNA, and the fourth one is the transfer RNA, and then energy is required for the protein synthesis, and the last one is protein factors, various protein factors, multiple of the factors which are required for the protein synthesis. So we'll take up one by one about various components. The first one is amino acids. Let us see about the amino acids. So there are 20 amino acids. Of course, there is 21st and 22nd amino acids. We'll limit our discussion to these 20 amino acids. These 20 amino acids, broadly, we can put them under 10 each. One group is essential and the other one is non-essential. So essential and non-essential category of amino acids. What does it mean? So one thing we shall not forget, all the 20 amino acids are required for the protein synthesis. The essential, non-essential amino acids means, so whether dietary supply is required or dietary supply is not required. So those amino acids where dietary supply is required, so they are called nutritionally essential amino acids. Those amino acids, dietary supply is not required, they are called nutritionally non-essential amino acids. That means they can be synthesized in our body. Okay, when protein synthesis is taking place, we require all the 20 amino acids are required at the site of protein synthesis. There is no exception. All the 20 amino acids are required. Okay, so that means one has to ensure the supply of all the amino acids, ensure the supply of all the amino acids. So especially those amino acids which are nutritionally essential in sufficient quantities, they must be supplied in sufficient quantity so that protein synthesis takes place. Suppose if one or two amino acids are deficient, if even one amino acid is deficient, then will it take place protein synthesis? No, the synthesis stops. So that means what it means, okay, it means all the 20 amino acids, they shall be present at the site of protein synthesis. Okay, whereas in prokaryotes there is no such aspect, because prokaryotes, all the 20 amino acids, so they are synthesized. Okay, so that is about the prokaryotic system. The next aspect we'll talk about is ribosomes. Ribosomes are very important for the protein synthesis. They are site of protein synthesis. So that is the reason they are called molecular machines. They are called molecular machines, okay, of the protein synthesis, or factories of protein synthesis. Okay, so when you say in the prokaryotic system and eukaryotic system, so there are different types of ribosomes are present. So in the prokaryotes, it is 70S. S means the sedimentation unit. Here it is 80S. Here again further subunits are present. Here 50S and 30S, whereas here 60S and 40S. So each unit contains ribosomal RNA, various proteins. Okay, then so these a functional ribosome has plays very important aspect in the protein synthesis. Functional ribosome, when it is participating in the protein synthesis, there are a site that is called amino acid site, P site that is called peptidyl site, and E site, so that is called exit site. Okay, so this is about the ribosomes. The next aspect, so we'll take up in the ribosomes, how the ribosomes are present in the cytoplasm. The ribosomes are present in the cytoplasm in association with the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so there is a combination of rough endoplasmic reticulum and ribosomes. The association is there, so that combination. So these various one which are present, so they are ribosomes. Ribosomes, we can say they are ribosomes. Okay, this also we call it polyribosome. Okay, so in all these ribosomes, polyribosome, various units, okay, so the protein translation takes place. Okay, translation takes place on a single messenger RNA. Okay, translation takes place on single messenger RNA, on a single messenger RNA. So okay, so this is about the ribosomes. The next one which we have is the messenger RNA. The RNA which carries information from the DNA. So that means the specific information is present. What does it mean? The specific information required for the synthesis of a given protein. Okay, so with this information, the protein synthesis can take place. So in the messenger RNA, information it gets from the DNA through the process of transcription. On the messenger RNA, the information is arranged in the form of a triplet codons. Okay. The next one is transfer RNA. Next one is transfer RNA. So when you talk about the transfer RNA so carry amino acids. Not only carry the amino acids, they hand them over to the protein synthetic machinery, to become a growing polypeptide. So that is the importance of transfer RNA. So because the transfer RNA can be said it is bilingual. So it can understand more than one language. Okay, it contains anticodon. Okay, anticodon. The anticodon recognizes the codon language. Recognize the codon. What is there in the codon? Okay, once it recognizes it, what happens? It picks up the appropriate transfer RNA, brings to the site of the protein, that is at the ribosomes. Okay, the amino acid is carried on its acceptor arm. So in man, there are a number of transfer RNA are there. Approximately 50 are there. 50 transfer RNA are there, and whereas in bacteria there are approximately 40 transfer RNA are there. 40 are there. Okay, so this is about the transfer RNA. Then next is protein synthesis requires energy. Energy requirement. Here energy requirement is very high. In the ATP, okay, and GTP, in the form of ATP and GTP, energy has to be supplied because it is very high energy demanding process. Whether it is activation of amino acids in the initiation process, elongation process, the termination process, the protein synthesis required to be supplied with the energy. Because the energy has to be supplied, the sole reason is the protein synthesis has to be accurate. Then finally, the protein synthesis requires various factors. Various protein factors are required. The protein factors which may be initiating factors for the initiation factors are chain elongation factors, and also chain termination factors. So the protein synthesis requires factors for various steps. This is the various aspects of the requirement of different components. Now, the second objective is activation of amino acids. Okay, what happens? We have amino acid. The amino acid has to be activated. In the presence of ATP, the pyrophosphate is released. That means two high energy bonds are used. Okay, so in the presence of amino acid RNA synthetase, the synthetase enzyme. When you say synthetase enzyme means it uses the energy. So what is the intermediate? The intermediate is enzyme AMP after removal of the two phosphates and amino acid. Okay, then what happens to this one? Okay, let us see here. Just I will write what happens next. We take up the transfer RNA. This is the transfer RNA. So I am drawing the transfer RNA. Okay, this is the one. Again, the second one which I am writing here. Okay, here. This is the transfer RNA. What happens here in the transfer RNA? How the amino acid binds to the transfer RNA. Let us see here. This one here. So we can say, and here. This one goes to here. This is converted to this one. This is transfer RNA. Okay, this is 5' end. Here it is CCA 3' end. Again here it is 5' end and CCA, okay, 3' end. This is 3' end. Then what happens? This activated amino acid enzyme AMP complex transfers the amino acid to the acceptor arm, releasing enzyme and also AMP. So in this process, what happens here? The binding of amino acid is taking place. So what happens here? Once the binding of amino acid taking place leads to amino acyl transfer RNA. Amino acyl transfer RNA. Okay, this is how the protein synthesis process, the important amino acid, one of the important component, amino acid, is activated and bound to the transfer RNA, converting the specific transfer RNA into particular amino acyl transfer RNA based on the information on the codon recognized by anticodon, which is meant for the particular amino acid, which is attached to the transfer RNA, converting amino acyl transfer RNA. That amino acyl transfer RNA goes to the site where it transfers the amino acid and helps in the prolongation of the polypeptide chain. How it takes place, that we'll see in the next sessions while studying about the translation process. Okay. Now I will summarize the general aspects regarding translation or protein synthesis. We set two objectives. One is the requirement of components. The second one is activation of amino acids. Protein synthesis, both in prokaryotic system and eukaryotic system, we'll be studying it. In the prokaryotes and in the eukaryotic system. In the eukaryotic system, the protein synthesis is much more complex than the prokaryotic system. So various stages will be looking into the protein synthesis, the requirement of the components, activation of amino acid, protein synthesis proper, okay, then the post-transcriptional modifications and protein folding. So there are around 5, okay. So in these various aspects, we'll be studying protein synthesis, translation, including the post-translational modifications and protein folding. So requirements. The first thing is, we said various components are required, the amino acids are required, ribosomes are required, messenger RNA is required, transfer RNA is required, energy is required, various protein factors which are required. Okay, amino acids, 20 amino acids which are there. Of course, we are not talking about the 21st and 22nd. Out of this one, there are 10 essential, 10 non-essential. Essential means it is nutritionally essential. All the 20 amino acids are required. Ensure the supply of all the amino acids, okay, in sufficient quantities. If one amino acid is deficient, then synthesis stops. Okay, all the 20 amino acids in adequate quantity, they must be present in the eukaryotic system. In the prokaryotes, all 20 amino acids can be synthesized. So there are no issues like that. So next one, we talked about the ribosomes. Okay, ribosomes we are talking about. So they are the sites of protein synthesis. So they are also called molecular machines or factories of protein synthesis. In the prokaryotic system, 70S and 50S, okay, and 30S, and eukaryotes 80S, further 60S and 40S. Okay, functional ribosome has got the 3 sites: A site, P site and E site. A site means amino acyl site, P site means peptidyl site, E site means exit site. Okay, so how the ribosomes are arranged in endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum. So we have shown it. It is called polyribosome. So translation on a single messenger RNA on all the ribosomes which can take place. Then we talked about the messenger RNA. The messenger RNA, it carries the specific information for a given proteins. How this information is carried out, from where it will get? It will get from the DNA. Through the process of transcription, messenger RNA is synthesized. The information is arranged in the form of triplet codons. Then transfer RNA carry amino acids, okay, and hand them over to growing polypeptide chain. polypeptide chain. Okay, so that is function of the transfer RNA. Transfer RNA, we can say it is bilingual. It understands the codon language through the anticodon, and then accordingly it picks up the amino acid and brings to the protein synthetic site. So there are around 50 transfer RNA are present in man. In bacteria, there are around 40 transfer RNA are present. Then next is the energy requirement. So protein synthesis requires high levels of energy. It is demanding of energy is very high for the various processes like initiation, elongation, termination, activation of amino acids, either in the form of ATP or GTP. Then various protein factors which are required for the initiation, elongation, and termination process. Termination process, you can say it is termination process. Okay. Termination process. Okay. Then activation of amino acids. Next one. How the amino acids are activated and bound to the transfer RNA. Amino acid in the presence of ATP consuming two energy bonds. In the presence of amino acid RNA synthetase, this is the enzyme, leads to enzyme, AMP and amino acid complex formation takes place. With this, amino acid can be transferred to the transfer RNA, and then once it is transferred and bound to the acceptor arm, and then release of this enzyme and AMP takes place. So this is about the general aspects of protein synthesis and also the activation of amino acid, binding of the activated amino acid to the particular transfer RNA.